Good afternoon, I'm Malcolm Jordan and this is your midday news fix for Thursday, the 2nd of November. More than 2,700 full-time roles were added to the public service in the year to June, a 4.5% increase. The Public Service Commission's released the figure today, along with its 2023 workforce data. Here's political reporter Sophie Trigger.
The spend on contractors and consultants was 13.1% of the public service workforce, down from 14.5%. Average pay for chief executives bumped up by 2.3%, while diversity and the share of women leaders continued to rise. Incoming governing parties National and ACT have both pledged to slash public sector spending, ACT to the tune of 15,000 jobs.
The UN's Human Rights Office says the airstrike on a refugee camp in Gaza could amount to a war crime. A spokesperson posted on social media the serious concerns of war crimes due to the number of civilians killed and the scale of destruction at the Jabalia refugee camp. At least 50 people were killed in yesterday's strike. Israel says it killed one of Hamas's top commanders in the process. Meanwhile, Palestinian officials say more than 400 dual nationals have left Gaza for Egypt in the first round of evacuations through the Rafah crossing. 7,000 people are trying to leave the besieged strip over the next 2 weeks. Our Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade is yet to confirm if New Zealanders are among those allowed to flee. Some are British and some American, and Sky's Trudy McIntosh says at least 23 are Australian. New Zealand exported $617 million worth of red meat in September, an 18% drop on the same time last year. The Meat Industry Association says exports rose to Canada, the UK and Saudi Arabia, but they fell to China, Japan, the US and Australia. Strategy and Advocacy Manager Jason Krupp says there's a softening in the global market, but he points out these figures are also in the context of recent record levels.
Last year we saw some of the highest red meat prices that we've ever received in New Zealand, and so while we are definitely experiencing a decline, the numbers are over-egged a little bit.
Elon Musk says the evolution of artificial intelligence is one of the biggest threats to humanity. World leaders and technology executives are meeting at the UK's Bletchley Park to discuss and mitigate future risks. The EU and 28 countries have signed a declaration pledging to keep AI human-centric and trustworthy. Musk says we're approaching a time when AI will become smarter than the smartest human.
It's not clear to me we can actually control such a thing, but I think we can aspire to guide it in a direction that's beneficial to humanity. But I do think it's one of the existential risks that we face, and it's potentially the most pressing one.
More than 500 midwives are gathering in Christchurch for the first time in 5 years, resuming what's meant to be a biennial national conference. Key topics include worker shortages, system reform and midwifery in the future. To sport, Wellington Phoenix have locked in one of their best young players to a long-term deal, signing goalkeeper Alex Paulson to a 3-year contract extension. The Black Caps have slumped to a third straight defeat at the Cricket World Cup, a 190-run thumping by South Africa in Pune. And former champion Self Assured has been withdrawn from the New Zealand Trotting Cup at Addington on November 14 after recent flat performances. I'm Malcolm Jordan, that's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at 5 p.m. from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.